This podcast was brought to you by Uncle Geeb Productions. Hey guys, and welcome everyone to the Drippin' Geeb podcast. I am your host, wearing a very sexy headpiece, Uncle Geeb, and with me is host Drip Media's Sexy Game, and we record this podcast live on sexy days every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's not Thursdays. This intro is off the rails, guys. It's Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day. I'm wearing a nice little thing in honor of my not Valentine's drip because my fiance was on the pre-show and she's my real Valentine. So
no, that's not true. I'm your Valentine.
But guys, welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit of Xbox stuff. We're going to kind of talk about some stuff that we talked about last week and update you guys because there's a little bit of news breaking there. You probably already heard it, but we'll regurgitate it for you guys just for a moment. But the real stuff is the rumors of directs in February this year and all
and
the other.
There's none. They're gone.
They're done. It's over. No more directs. It's gone. Clickbait. End call. Beep. No, but for realsies, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what we kind of think is going to happen. And maybe the fact that Drip and I kind of called this about 3 weeks ago or so. Again, we'll talk about all of that.
Yeah, people got super excited about this direct last week and this week.
They have. Yeah, they have. And I never felt it, dude. I never felt it. I heard what people were saying. And usually I get a feeling, and the last time this happened, I got the feeling, and it did happen, and people were just as hyped.
You know what happens? You know how I know there's going to be a direct soon? You know how I know?
How do you know, Drip?
My right knee just starts to ache a little bit.
Yeah.
I can feel it in the air. You know, it's like, I got that weird feeling. Like, ooh, I think we're going to direct announce tomorrow. It's like, it gets real tight. It's like, ooh, got to stand up a little bit weird.
Yeah. My left earlobe will jiggle on its own sometimes. And and for some reason, that means like Nintendo's dropping a game. Like, I don't understand why, but it just sits there and like vibrates. I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I guess we're getting Will Maker Twilight Princess because the earlobes
can call
wiggling.
themselves leakers all they want, but I have actual superpowers. So
that's right. I can wiggle my earlobes. My earlobes are huge.
I have knee pain.
I can like turn them in. It's crazy what I can do with my earlobes. They're huge. Anyway, this has been we're gonna get off topic here, but that's quite all right. Drip, how you doing first? How you doing, man? You're just drinking your bush.
A little bush, hanging out. It's been a good week. Been a good week. Had the kids over today. The smaller two, obviously. The bigger one's always here, but the smaller two, we did a little Valentine's Day stuff. Got us some V-Bucks. Got us some V-Bucks, some candy, a little squishmallow action.
Very nice.
It's good. It's good. They liked it.
So you're my Valentine, and that means I'm your Valentine. So where's my squishmallow?
Where's my fucking squishmallow?
I am your hard slaving editor. I owe you nothing. No, it's in the mail. It's coming, I swear.
Yeah, that's where yours is at too.
Okay, cool.
UPS.
Speaking of stuff in the mail, there's been some news. Philly Spencer, aka Slick Philly, made a quick little announcement last week that we talked about, obviously, and this week he's finally updated us as far as what's at the end of last week is when he updated us. Either way. We know now that tomorrow, as of the recording, which is Thursday, around 3 p.m. Eastern, they're going to be holding a podcast, which is, let's talk about that for a second. The news is breaking via a podcast. How do you feel about that, Drew?
I mean,
not to be clear, not this podcast.
It was going to be. Yeah, I didn't know what it was going to be, but yeah, the fact that they're doing it in a podcast is so weird. Like it's just strange. It's a very weird place to do it. I guess it's good because, is it live? Are they doing it live?
I don't know, but I mean, if it's not live, it'll be one of those live. It'll be one of those pre-recorded live events that you can do on YouTube. Premieres, that's what they're called.
Because I know they said something about them wanting to open it to like questions or whatever. Mm-hmm. Maybe I heard that wrong, but I mean, if it's live, that's going to be interesting. And I guess a podcast is a decent place if they're willing to answer questions.
Yeah,
clearly they want to go into detail about stuff, so they must have a lot to say.
Yeah,
but I mean, we do have some information here about what we should expect from The Verge. Mm-hmm. I mean, basically, we kind of know all this, but we can kind of go over it here. Phil Spencer already said, basically, Game Pass subscriptions were slowing down. 2022 was tough for them. Starfield was delayed, and they're basically just gonna have to pivot, and that's probably what we're gonna hear about tomorrow. And I think it's pretty interesting how this kind of lines up with the Switch and what we might see from a direct. Anyway, what we are looking at, it sounds like Xbox games coming to the PS5, Nintendo Switch. The rumors suggest Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves are going to be some. And then the Bethesda games, Starfield and Indiana Jones, that's not out yet, could appear. But the first ones are going to be Hi-Fi Rush, and then there's another one called Pentiment, which I have not played, and I don't think I've even heard of.
Never heard of it myself either.
I don't know about that one. But then Sea of Stars is, Sea of Stars, Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I wish Sea of Stars is already
on the Switch, yeah.
And it's not a Microsoft game.
Yeah. Sea of Thieves is supposed to be coming to Switch 2 or whatever, and and PlayStation 5 later this year.
Sea of Thieves is a weird one to me. I feel like Sea of Thieves should have already been on multi-platform because it's a multiplayer game.
Like, why not do it? Yeah.
And it's not like Microsoft withholds their first-party stuff. We all know there's plenty of Microsoft games on other consoles right now. The fact that Sea of Thieves being an Xbox, IP at the moment, and it's fact that it's multiplayer, and other Microsoft non-multiplayer IPs are on other platforms like the Ori games. Blind Forest, and
God, they look good.
Like, and there's others too, but that's just the top of my head. And those are not multiplayer games, but they're on there. So of course, Sea of Thieves just makes a whole lot of sense. Hi-Fi Rush makes a whole lot of sense because it is a very good game. I've heard. I haven't played it yet. I would love to. I would love to play it on Switch, and it seems like a perfect game for the Switch. That one seems like a given. I'll be honest, dude. This is not that episode. We're not going to get into this, but I'll just say this. Xbox, whether they do it or not, and how fast they do it, and what capacity they do it, I would love to see as many Xbox-owned titles on as many platforms as possible. Because the fact that they're buying up a lot of companies makes me
it kind of sucks, because that was the thing we were talking about. Like, everything's going to be first party somewhere if everybody keeps buying up these studios. But if Xbox changes this up and they just take all their stuff everywhere, that's great. Love that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about the Nintendo part of this.
Yeah.
They're talking about games. They're going to be probably announcing some of this stuff tomorrow. Now, there was this big conspiracy. I think I heard RGT talking about it the other day in a video, and I was like, I
saw that.
That's a good idea, but I don't think there's going to be a direct.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that in a minute. But the idea was that Xbox, Phil Spencer, they were going to go in and start telling everything they needed to tell on their podcast, and then Nintendo was going to come in later that day and talk about all that stuff in their partner direct, which would have been like the whole day. And it's a wonderful idea, but no direct.
I mean, no direct. No offense to the other partner directs, that'd be the best partner direct we've ever gotten. Is a bunch of Microsoft games.
Well, I mean, even if it's just the two for now and just a promise of more, or maybe like, what are they going to do about Game Pass? Are we going to get Game Pass? I don't know. We're getting ahead of ourselves with that.
Yeah.
Point is, that's not happening. That could still happen. If there's a partner direct next week, if that is still a thing, if there is going to be one, they could still talk about it then. I mean, who knows? Maybe it was supposed to be this week, and with all this stuff getting leaked about Xbox, they moved it because they realized that Microsoft had to kind of come out today and do their thing, even though they were planning on doing it maybe next week. But then that doesn't really line up either, because then they would have not announced it until after Nintendo already announced it. So that would have been weird too. There's never been a direct scheduled for this week, Geeb.
There hasn't.
I think that's what I just talked myself completely into. Not that I didn't believe that already before, but it wasn't happening.
No,
it wasn't happening.
It wasn't. And honestly, we kind of already touched on this
3 weeks ago.
About 3 weeks ago. We were just kind of talking out of our ass like we usually do, but obviously with something somewhat based in fact, and obviously looking forward, now that we can see three weeks in the future now to current day, it seems even more likely that what we talked about a few weeks ago is what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. Just to recap, if you didn't see the episode from 3 weeks ago, we talked about, the obvious, we get one every year, February Nintendo Direct. And at the end of the episode, when's it going to be? When's it going to be? My reasoning was, okay, Nintendo has a game coming out on the 16th, which is this Friday. They're not going to do a Direct before that. It's not going to be this first week. It's not going to be the second week. And I said, okay, the 21st, probably the next Wednesday after Mario versus Donkey Kong is already out.
Yeah.
Then it's done. They can move forward. That's what they do. They promote games when they have games to promote. And, everybody kept saying online today, yesterday, all week, no, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening, what? Thursday, right? The 15th. It's happening the 15th.
Yep.
You know what, Nintendo? Let's just really quickly, I want to say 9 times out of 10 when we get a direct announced, when does it happen, Geeb? And where does it happen? Happens on X or Twitter.
On Twitter.
At 10 a.m. Do you know what they were doing at 10 a.m. this morning, Jeeb?
What were they doing at 10 a.m. this morning?
They were promoting the fucking game that comes out this Friday. That's what they were doing. Yeah. Of course they were. Of course they were.
I never believed it, but obviously in retrospect, it was never happening this week.
No,
clearly it was never happening this week. The game.
I did not get excited about it whatsoever. No. Everybody was talking about it. I'm like, dude.
And the reason people were
do that.
Here's why people were talking about it for this week, because they were talking about it for last week, and then breaking news, it didn't happen last week. So everyone just was like, okay, well then it's next week then, and it didn't happen the week after, which is this week, and it never was going to happen because the game's coming out. So now,
this just shows you.
Now this weekend will build some steam, and then on Monday we're gonna hear some more steam.
Like, no,
Spawn Wave first thing Monday morning. Spawn Wave Nintendo Direct rumors for the 21st or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And
I mean, listen. If there is a Nintendo Direct on the 21st, from that moment on, I am known as a fucking leaker. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay, that's
Done.
it.
Done.
I'm known as a leaker because, I mean, what the fuck? Everybody's like, oh, it's this week. Oh, no. Actually, it's next week. Like, come on, dude. None of these people know shit.
No.
I mean, there may be a few people who had some ideas about some things that were happening and can piece some things together. There are people that I have, I don't know. Who was talking about a direct this week that I actually trust? Nate the Hate, I think, said something about a direct this week. I trust a lot of the stuff he says. I mean, he seems to have a very good track record. I'm pretty sure he was one of the ones talking about it this week.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. I just do not understand why. The logic does not, it doesn't make sense.
Well, let's adapt the conversation about directs off of first party right now, because obviously you and I at least both know here that it's not happening this week, first party thing. And we'll talk about the future of first party directs in a minute here. But let's talk about the fact that it's still possible we get a direct this week, but I think it's going to be a partner direct. I think if we're getting any direct this week or next week, really,
so, I mean,
it's going to be.
I guess if we're gonna believe rumors, that does make sense at this point, especially with what you told me that you just saw on I don't know where you saw it, Twitter, X, whatever it is.
What are you talking
about? They put out a new trailer this week for Princess Peach, right?
Right. Okay, I was getting there. But yeah, we can talk about that now. So Nintendo's Twitter, as you guys know, they tweet a lot. And a few weeks ago, was it last week or the week before?
Literally every hour on the hour.
We talked about Pal World or Pokemon taking over Nintendo's Twitter recently.
Oh yeah,
Pal World.
yeah, it did.
But now we can kind of evaluate Nintendo's Twitter. You can learn a lot from Nintendo's Twitter. I recommend if you're a fan of ours and you're a fan of Nintendo's, just turn on those tweets notifications, because not that you care about anything, but it's just to keep up with what they're doing. It kind of paints a picture. And right now they're tweeting a lot about a lot of different things, because especially Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which is coming out. Obviously, they're tweeting about that seemingly every day. But yesterday, as of the recording, they tweeted the Splatoon DLC. Okay. Splatoon, the second order or something like that. The second wave of Splatoon, DLC was already announced, obviously, but we got a trailer, an in-depth. I think it was like 4 minutes long, showing you gameplay of the DLC. So let's check that off right there. That's the first little bit of why we're not getting a first party direct. The next thing today, a Princess Peach trailer was dropped, and it's a full length second version 2 trailer.
One, yeah, that's the second one that they've dropped too.
Yes, so that is another kind of nail in the coffin. That there is no first party Nintendo Direct.
So that's what I'm saying. What's left? What's left after that? In the chat, let me know. Also, thank you, Metal Mojon, for the $4.99 super chat. Damn, you guys are so handsome.
I know, we're so handsome.
Oh, we are handsome fellows.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day, Metal Mojon. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day. But what else is left? We got Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
we don't have a date for that in the summer. But is there anything else? Is there anything else besides Luigi's Mansion?
I don't remember. And to be honest with you, especially this conversation, I don't think it matters all that much.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing to talk about.
No.
There's no reason to have a first party direct, because they don't have anything to show unless it's still February, right?
Yeah.
Unless they want to give us Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on the Switch.
Oh, no.
Let's go!
No.
Let's go!
No.
Woo!
Drip has exactly 2 more weeks to talk about this, so I'll let him have it. I'm gonna not so sneakily move on and talk
Every
about
episode.
and talk about
Every
now. We
episode.
just gave you 2 examples, good examples, very good examples why there will be no first party direct at the very bottom dollar least this week. Next, as far as why there might be no, what's it called? The partner direct. What is 2 more tweets from Nintendo? Again, you can learn a lot from their Twitter. They tweeted out a game, a trailer. I lost my place here. Dyslexia has made me lose it here. Fashion Dreamers Classic, and I put LOL in parentheses next to it because LOL.
Oh, that's a good one though.
I'm not even gonna show you anything about that. Obviously, it's some sort of like little kid girl game or something like that. You know, it's fine, it's cute, but they gave some information. I don't know if I think it's just DLC for the game. So the game's already out, but they gave some DLC for it, whatever. But that is something that would be in a direct. They've had different stuff like that or worse in directs before. So that's something that would be in a direct, in a partner direct. And then this is gonna be hard for me to pronounce because it's basically just letters. Uppercase Y, lowercase s, space uppercase X. So Y's X : Nordics. That's the video game.
Is it Yeez?
I have no idea. I'm not gonna try. Again, I'm not even gonna try.
It is.
Yeez X Nordics, sure.
Like
Yeezys.
Yeez 8. Whatever.
Sure.
I didn't know that was that. I didn't know that's what that game was.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
It's my guess is it's some sort of JRPG or RPG or something like that. Anyway, the point is that.
So what is it?
That
Yeez
was
10. It said you said X.
sure.
Is it 10?
Yeez 10 Nordics. The point is, Drip, is that
Or is it just X?
Shut up.
I want to know. I need to know.
I don't
need
know.
these answers.
I don't have an answer for you.
All right, fine, whatever.
But they tweeted it on Twitter, obviously, not X, that game is coming to Switch. Looks really good, by the way. But that seems like a nice little banger. It looks really good. The trailer looks awesome. That seems like something that would be in a partner direct. And especially if they're tweeting it would be in a partner direct. So
That would be in a regular direct.
it probably would be. It looks really good. So there's 4 examples for why there's no direct this week, and probably not for the rest of February. And
I don't.
probably. I mean, we feel differently about it. I remain on my stance that we're not getting one in February.
That's fine.
I did give you guys a prediction a few weeks ago that it was February 29th, but that was mainly a joke. You know, if you listen to the episode, I was kind of being facetious a little bit because it's the leap day. But yeah. I'm not feeling any day in February. I thought it was possible in early February, January, but now I'm really not feeling like it at all. And now with all these tweets coming out, this is very, very reminiscent to COVID Nintendo, Drip. Very reminiscent to COVID.
Yeah, you
Nintendo.
said that earlier today. It's an interesting thought. But while we're talking about COVID Nintendo, I do want to warn everybody: we're not out of the woods yet. Especially if you're watching this live right now. I just want you all to remember that I believe it was 2020 in the beginning of COVID. They announced a partner direct at like midnight for the next day.
Yeah.
It was at like midnight.
Yeah.
It was late as hell. So, I mean, we're not totally out of the woods yet as far as one for tomorrow. It could happen. I doubt that's going to happen at this point, but it could happen. I do disagree with you on that, though. I do think we're getting something because we just don't have a lot to finish. You know, they can't just stop the machine. And I said this a couple weeks ago. They got to have stuff still coming out. They've got to keep the machine rolling while the other thing comes out. Because this reminds me a lot of kind of like when the Switch started and they were still putting games out for the 3DS, even though the 3DS was kind of on the way out and they were going to merge the handheld and the console divisions. They were going to bring everybody together, but they were still putting games out for the 3DS. You know, they even put them in directs for a while. In 2017, I don't think it went. Did it go on to 18? I'm not sure.
I think
it did. 2017, at least, like there were 3DS games. I believe, like the Luigi's Mansion remaster. Not Dark Moon, was it? It was the remaster of the first one that came to. That was like one of the last games on the Switch. No. It was Mario and Luigi, like Bowser's big story or some shit.
It was an
RPG
RPG featuring Luigi and Mario, and it was I believe that was 2018 if I'm not wrong, and I believe if I'm not wrong, I could be wrong, but I believe that was the last new game.
I think it was
to come out to the 3DS during the Switch's life, and then then they shortly a year after that the consoles officially was killed by Nintendo in favor of the Switch. Yeah, so kind of what you just said a second ago about the midnight direct tweet. It's still possible that we could get one of those here in February. There's plenty of time. There's plenty of time left in February. Obviously, I'm not making it a death sentence, and I don't feel that strongly about no direct this month.
The midnight thing, like
we talked about it a second ago, but let's bring it back up again. I feel like we're all over the place, but that's okay. What is left to show, Drip? What is left to I mean, obviously
for Nintendo,
there's nothing. It'd be all new stuff. That's what we haven't heard about besides like a couple dates for the, like we said, the Mario, the Luigi's Mansion game.
That's like the only date
Mario
we need,
1,000 Year Door.
There's 1,000 Year Door.
There's like 2 dates that we need to have for stuff we were to know about, and other than that,
that is not enough to do a direct for, though.
No, and like I said a minute ago, Splatoon and Princess Peach, that is it's not big stuff, but it's stuff that would be for sure in a Nintendo Direct. Because those games, the DLCs, is it out now? Is it out really soon? And Princess Peach is going out really soon as well. That's perfect primetime Nintendo Direct.
22nd of next month, right?
As Nintendo Direct material right there that they just put out in a tweet. So why would they're already short on content as far as what's coming new-wise to the Switch? Why would they steal their thunder for their next Direct if they're with tweets of putting 2 big things, Splatoon DLC, people are interested in, Princess Peach, people are interested in that. Why would they steal their thunder and put those out in tweets in an already barren Direct? Answer that question, Drip, because if you still feel strongly about a Direct, why would they do that?
I mean, I don't think they would. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to, if there is one next week.
Partner Direct?
Yeah, it's a partner Direct. And I mean, don't get excited. It's going to be like 15, 20 minutes long, maybe.
I mean,
it's
possible.
not going to be big, man.
It could still be 40 minutes. There is thousands of games coming out every day for the Switch, so it's still possible.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not going to put.
It could be long.
They're going to do a nice small one just to give us some more stuff to make sure that everybody's still paying attention, and then that's it. Like we everybody expects a lot. Like we're done. We are done. And as far as Nintendo Switch Directs for Nintendo games. I believe we watched the last one. That was it. We are going to see, the next one, like we've talked about this today, the next one is Switch 2.
Yeah.
I mean, there may be some cross-platform games, right?
Yeah.
You agree with me on that?
For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
But I mean, we are not going to see another Nintendo Direct that deals with first-party Nintendo Switch games again. We've already seen the last one of those.
And that may seem like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have the good feel right now of like the general public right now. I don't have a really good feel of it. So I don't know if that seems like hot takey or not. I know somebody earlier came in here and jokingly called us clickbait. It was, but
I don't feel like that's a hot take. I think
I don't think it's hot take. I don't feel like it's clickbait.
Reality.
Right. I agree. Tell me what then? Someone could say, yeah, it's a bunch of new stuff. Geeb, of course you don't know what's coming out because it's a bunch of new stuff we haven't heard about yet. The rumors are so freaking hot right now, and we all feel it and know it. It is time for new hardware. We've felt it for 4 years. I give you that. There's some people out there who are like, you idiots have been talking. Like I think of Alex immediately. You idiots have been talking about this for 4 years. Maybe since the Switch came out, you idiots have been talking about new hardware.
If you keep talking about it for long enough, eventually it's going to happen.
But as of now, it is 7 years since the Switch came out.
Yeah, we're there. We are very close.
It's not like it was with the Switch Pro rumors 4 years ago. Because by the way, we may have been wrong by Switch Pro, but we got the OLED, and the OLED was absolutely the Switch Pro that we never had. It was supposed to, the chassis and everything was supposed to fit different hardware that we actually received because of COVID.
We suspected that a long time ago, and it seems that is just being more and more confirmed as we go along here. Like that is actually what happened.
I'm gonna take that as a win for at least you and I, that we got that part right. With Switch Pro stuff, we were wrong about the name and everything, but it was the Switch OLED, and that was the Switch Pro we were talking about. We just didn't know it at the time. So that happened, and now 3 more years, dude. It's been 3 years, by the way. Vomit if you feel you need to. 3 years later since OLED came out, here we are sitting here, and it's 7 years total, and it is time for new hardware. And we're now in February. What I'm trying to get here at, guys, if you're not following along with the conversation here, everything points. Like literally there is a million arrows pointing at Switch 2 right now. Every clue. I'm watching Monk right now. I've talked about this in the pre-show and after show a few weeks now. I'm watching Monk. It's a mystery crime TV show. It's great from the 2000s.
Oh, that's awesome.
Watch it if you haven't. It's on Netflix.
My mom loves that show, dude.
I love it. Old man Geeb loves it. And all the clues, man. Monk is doing his thing. He's looking through his fingers. He's doing his looking thing. He's seeing the clues. I'm telling you right now, I can see the Switch 2 in March.
Through your fingers?
Through my fingers, like Monk. It's happening. It's happening. I feel happy. Like if I'm wrong about it, then it's going to be the next month after that. Like, and I'll keep being wrong about it. That's fine until I'm right. But it's in 2024. If I'm wrong, and it's not even in 2024 at all, we're all going to be crying. Not just me. Trust me, we'll all be crying. Everybody wants it this year. But I think March is the time. Maybe the end of March. The feeling is there that the end of March we're gonna get a tweet. It's gonna be like some flashy little trailer. It'll be the first trailer we see, the one that you'll see in everybody's video. Everyone's gonna reuse the same, like everyone reuses that first Switch trailer. It's gonna be that first Nintendo Switch 2 trailer that everyone's gonna have in their videos for the next 45 years. And yeah. It's gonna happen in the end of March. It's gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen in the end of March, honestly.
I feel like it will.
I feel like it's going to happen a little bit. Oh,
well, let me. You think about that because I'm going to tell you why I think it's the end of March because Nintendo has started the tweet game, the game where they play where they're putting stuff out in tweets, and it started yesterday. I don't know when it started exactly, but as of yesterday, some big stuff dropped, and next week we'll get in a couple more tweets and tricks. Maybe 1,000 Year Door we'll get a date in a tweet. Luigi's Mansion we'll get a date in a tweet. Maybe a new project will be announced. Possibly. I doubt it. But in a tweet. Like, they might just trickle some information out for the Switch specifically. And up until the end of March. And then, well, let me look at my calendar here and find an actual date for you guys. I think we did this already, but in January. But let me re-update my official prediction.
Yeah, well, hold on. Before you do this, I want to give you a little bit more information
sure.
So you have it. You have to remember this, too. Princess Peach Showtime drops on March 22nd. So keep that in mind.
March 29th, we get a flashy trailer with a Switch 2. That's a Friday. It's gonna. I feel it, man.
Won't happen on a Friday.
Why not?
Because it fucks up the United States and Japan's weekend. Saturday, they don't do that. That's why I don't do shit on Fridays. It's always Wednesdays.
It's not gonna happen before March 22nd because that would overshadow the game. So we're looking at that week, and would it be earlier in the week? It's either that week or it's not March at all.
I tell you this, I was going to say earlier March, but your logic is sound, because if I'm going based off of what I just said and what I believe about Nintendo, I have to agree with you. Because why would they talk about this new hardware right now, even if it is available on the next hardware, even if it is backwards compatible? Why would they talk about that before that game drops? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe that's why they haven't talked about dates for Luigi's Mansion 2.
I think the big thing is for the 1,000 Year Door and Luigi's Mansion games. The big thing is for them is the pre-orders. I think they want to make sure that the game there's a trailer out for both games, and I think the game 1,000 Year Door, the trailer's already out, but I guess Luigi's Mansion has this trailer too. But regardless, they want to make sure that the pre-orders are down and sound before any hardware comes out. And as far as you said Princess Peach is next month. There's plenty of trailers. There's probably gonna be at least one or two more trailers for that game. I wouldn't be surprised if in March they trickle out 2 more trailers for that game, 3 and 4 respectively.
Why not? Sure, why not?
They want to make sure that game is that's one that it's a new one. Obviously, it's not a remake like the other two. They want to. There's no way that the hardware is shown on the new hardware shows. Even if it's a dual release game, there's no way that they show the hardware before that game. They want to make sure that game has some time to breathe. That's why I said Friday, because they want some time. They want that game to sell, not just day one. They wouldn't do it on that Friday the 22nd, and then 3 days later on the 25th, which is a Monday, come out with a Switch 2 trailer.
That's the thing, though. Here's the thing that's what I'm wondering, though. You just said a Switch 2 trailer. Is that what it's going to be?
Well, I honestly, dude, I thought it was going to be incorporated in a direct, which would be in March. And
I mean,
you told me
that's
no.
Not what they,
you
yeah,
told
that's
me
not
no.
what they do.
You
they
told
do
me
presentations. It's like they don't do that. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure at the release of the Switch, I mean, they had press there. It was like a whole big thing. They were on stage. It was a gigantic thing. They showed the trailers and stuff, but I mean, they were on stage, like holding the thing, showing it, talking about the history of Nintendo and this and that and blah blah blah. The Switch does this. Here's a trailer.
Yeah,
here's
what we
they're
might
gonna do something like this.
Hey,
they needed like a week, like to announce it, say it's happening, to give people time to set up, especially if they're gonna have press there and all that stuff. It's gonna be a thing like that.
Here's what I'm thinking, Drip.
Man, 29th doesn't sound that bad, actually.
Here's what I'm thinking. That week, whenever they decide to do it, it could be the 29th. I don't think they're showing us anything. I think you've kind of talked me into a different idea I have in my head.
Maybe we got April 1st.
I love how we do this for each other. Here's what we do. I think I'm still thinking with 29th. I'm sticking with 29th, but it's not a reveal trailer. It's an announcement that a live event, Nintendo event, is happening on
the next week.
On April, let's just say April 3rd. But that's a Wednesday. And they don't say what it is. They don't say any. They give no. They give no details. It's a Nintendo logo with banner.
4 days.
It's just an announcement that gives Princess Peach like 2 weeks, a week and a half to breathe after the game comes out, but enough time to where like it's the right time to announce at least an announcement, announce an announcement on Twitter, and then there's a live event, maybe even in-person event. Maybe even tickets could be sold. I don't know how they do things these days, but who knows what they do. But I think April 3rd is the day we see the thing. And the 29th is it sounds right to me for an announcement, but maybe it's not the announcement I think it is. Maybe it's not the showing the console. Maybe it's, an announcement of an announcement.
I don't hate that, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Like I said earlier in the show, like everything is pointing to Switch 2. Like if you put all these clues together, I don't know.
Is Monk.
I'm not a
Geeb is Monk.
I'm not a leaker. I'm not Monk. I don't know if I'm right about this.
Geeb is a leaking detective.
If I end up being right about it, I will run a victory lap. Don't worry, I'll do that for sure. But if I'm wrong about it, you won't hear about it.
Don't worry. You'll hear about it. You'll hear about it. I don't hate that though, man. I don't hate that.
It's not a prediction for me. It's kind of prediction. It's more of my educated guess. It's not really prediction.
Well, I'll tell you this too. That would make them almost not liars.
Referring to which particular comment?
That would be the one that they told their investors that they were going to only worry the first part of. They're only worried about the Nintendo Switch and nothing else.
Yeah.
In the beginning of 2024.
That's right. April is the start, right?
Yeah. So their fiscal year starts on April 1st.
Not April Fools. They wouldn't do that. That's hilarious. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah. So that's when it starts. So yeah, they would have finished the year out. Their year. Just like they said, only talking about the Switch, and then right at the end.
Mark yo calendars. And actually, funny enough, Drip, April 3rd is a podcast night. So I think instead of a podcast that night, we would just live stream the event.
Yeah.
That's what we would
do. If it happens. But I mean, that's a
perfect scenario right there.
I mean, who fucking knows?
All the stars are aligning, Drip. It's a podcast night. It's happening. With this pick in Geeb's calendar events for 2024, he selects April 3rd.
I don't hate that, though. I really don't, honestly. I like that. I like April a little better than March anyway.
Yeah. So that would mean, Drip, if going off of what I said and what we kind of together concluded here, that there'd be no direct Nintendo first-party direct. There'd be nothing until, like, summer at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, we'd probably get more updates on...
It'd just be tweets. We'd just be getting tweets.
Tweets on things. Yeah, and then the next big thing when they really started talking about games would be June, July, whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, third parties can start talking about things they've got coming, and then that's the thing.
Yeah, we could get a partner. We could get a partner direct between now and then, obviously. But as far as a first party Nintendo Direct, we may not see one of those until summertime.
But here's what we will see. I bet. And I think I talked about this when we talked about this a couple weeks ago. When they showed the Switch, when they were showing it, they were showing games that weren't out yet. Like they were showing clips from Mario Odyssey. They were showing clips from Breath of the Wild. We didn't know any of that really. We got to see it there. I'm fairly certain that happened. So maybe we would get a little glimpse of some stuff that we might be seeing early in the life of the Switch 2 just there. I mean, think about all the cool breakdown videos I could do with just that.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Bring back another
amazing.
Breath of the Wild 2 predictions breakdown based off a trailer. Remember that?
Yeah.
Gem of a video that you almost got right with some things?
Yeah, listen.
You were close.
I tried.
In fact, your ideas were better than this Tears of the Kingdom's execution on like at least the desert. Like, come on, man. Arbiter Grounds. Where was that?
I really wish that was there.
Come on. It was so easy. They could have been underground, under sand. It would have been so easy.
It was kind of like that anyway when you went in. How are we talking about this right now? This is not what we're talking about.
Well, you know why we're talking about it? Because last night, Drip, you and I had a podcast that most of you guys listening right now did not hear. And that's because it was only for members. Make sure to become a member of the YouTube channel. Make sure to do that because we had a whole conversation on Tears of the Kingdom. I will say, I'll admit, at least not my best work as far as an episode is concerned. It was more open-ended conversation around Tears of the Kingdom. And what was it exactly, Drip? Remind me.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, the memory. Forget foggy memory. But we talked about Tears of the Kingdom and the fact that something happened. Oh, the sales, Drip, sales. We talked about the sales.
Yeah.
Why the sales flatlined and other things.
Yeah, that was
course.
a fun conversation, actually. Yeah.
Again,
become a member.
We
Check
appreciate you if you guys can become a member. Obviously, though you get one. I shouldn't say that at all because the last few months we haven't done them, but you get extra content, and we're doing 2 live streams this month, and obviously those things stay up for you guys. If you can't make the live stream, you can always watch it after the fact. It's only on YouTube. So yeah, recommended extra content. If you like this content, you get more of it if you become a member, and it helps us out. Helps us afford things like the things that's on Drip's head right now, except for it's not our podcast one; it is his logo. It's on my shelf there. Our merch and stuff. So it helps us afford stuff like that. So we appreciate you guys and helping us do that. We have a new design in the works. I kind of came up with my own little concept art that might actually come to fruition here pretty soon. We'll see. It actually might be a Drip and Geeb collaboration merch thing. We're not
I'm gonna
paying
have to shoot some pictures for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. We have a cool design idea. If you guys are a fan of the podcast, especially for a long time now, you're gonna love the shirt. You're going to love the shirt.
It's a good one. It's a good one. It's definitely
we're working on it.
Definitely an inside joke. It's a good one. It's a good one for the regulars.
For sure. Drip, I feel like this is a short one today, but I feel like that was it.
It is. We're done though, man. We're done. We've had our conversation. I have nothing else to say.
Yeah, but we're not done as far as the live stream is concerned. Don't worry. Don't leave the stream. We'll be hanging out in the after show. But as far as you guys listening, I don't want to say I apologize for the short episode because maybe that's better for some of you guys. But, every now and again, sometimes we get shorter episodes, and that's fine. I think it's, a half hour.
We could sit here and bullshit for another 15 minutes.
Which is what we used to do. When our episodes were an hour and 30 minutes long, we sat there and bullshit for 45 minutes.
Let's go to the after show, Geeb.
No need for it. Actually, press that button, Drip, just to fade it on out real fast. Give people a taste
Which
of
one?
it. You know what we want to. Yeah. If you want to be here for the after show, make sure to watch these podcasts live on YouTube. We do them every week live. But if you miss them, you can catch them over on our audio platforms. Anyone you choose, Spotify, Apple, they're all there. You can also watch them on YouTube. Am I done plugging everything, Drip?
I think so. I think you got it all.
Press that faded out. We're on to the after show. We'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye.